Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, all chipping in 20-plus points. It's what you call a well-balanced attack, Broussard, giving the Bucks the big win and a 3-2 series lead. Here's Brook Lopez after the game.
What was great about today is we were really all just basketball players playing together, both on offense and on defense. You know, we were playing off one another, making plays, making extra passes, and it was a lot of fun tonight.
All right, well, listen, the rest of the Bucks obviously stepping up big time. They might need to do it again without Giannis. Reports are he has, quote, a gulf to make up in his rehab ahead of Game 6. That doesn't sound great. So, Broussard, how should Bucks fans feel this morning after winning Game 5 without Giannis?
Well, they should feel great, no doubt about it, because the ultimate goal this season is to win the championship, with or without Giannis. So I think they need to take the approach that we won't have Giannis, and if you get him, then it's great, you know. But they have to look at this as what can we do if we don't get Giannis back? And last night you saw that if they get past Atlanta, then they've at least got a chance. Phoenix will probably be favorite, but they certainly have a chance. Phoenix is, congratulations, they've been great this year, but they're not scaring anybody. They're not LeBron and the Lakers. They're not a healthy Brooklyn team where you really think we may not have a chance on paper. So they looked last night like they have a legitimate chance to win the championship, even if Giannis doesn't come back. On their roster, they got 3 other All-Stars other than Giannis. And all of them played like it last night. Brook Lopez, people forget, Brook Lopez was a dominant low-post scorer with the Nets in New Jersey and in Brooklyn. He would average 20 points a game in the low post. And last night, he and the Bucks overall, Bobby Portis, they went inside. They used their size. And so Brook turned back the clock, and that's why he had the big game. Obviously, Middleton played well, great floor game, shot it well. And same with Drew Holiday. On paper, the Bucks, even without Giannis, should beat Atlanta. On paper, as I said, 3 All-Stars to 0 for Atlanta. And last night, they went ahead and played like they look on paper. And so they made the Bucks fans optimistic, even if they can't get their superstar back.
All right, Chris, Nick, Jenna, Wilds, I'm about to say something. I need y'all to listen in. All right, I talked about the Suns when nobody wanted to talk about the Suns, and you guys said, hey, we don't talk about the Suns on this show. And now look, the Suns are the favorite. Chris talking about, oh, they going to be in the finals. The Suns going to be the favorite. Right? Yeah, we a little bit. And I said I said the Golden State going to go down. You're going to have Memphis Grizzlies. They're going to beat them in the play game. Oh, what Brandon talking about? There's a couple other things I said. But here it is right now.
Because he missed on Brooklyn and the Clippers. Now he's bringing up all these little minor things he said.
Here, hold on. But let me hear this. Let me hear this. I want to hear what the next one is.
It's going to get real. It's going to get real interesting. I wish there was so much more basketball left, but sometimes when your star player goes down, it unlocks something different in your team. So last night what we saw, it could be the exception or this could be a new thing, right? Because you just said they got 3 All-Stars on that team. When you are a Giannis, the Greek freak, let's think about his name. 2-time MVP, dominant on defense. Everything is centered around you, so you sit back and you try to figure out, how do I fit in? When you pull that person out, man, your guys got to step up. We talk about this next man mentality all the time. I'm not saying they're better without Giannis. What I am saying is basketball, you can get it done 2 ways. You can have 1 or 2 guys, just everything's around them, or you could just be a really, really good team where you guys are on one accord, one string, and you just operate together. So that's what I'm saying here, is this is something to look out for, because you got almost all of their starters going 22-plus points, and you got PG Tucker, he only had 5, but we know what he provides on the defensive side. So this could get really interesting moving forward, and they could dominate not only the Hawks, you know, the next game, but also the Suns in the finals. So just pay attention to it, man, because this is going to get interesting.
So say it with base.
Listen,
Milwaukee
Brandon's
is
right.
winning it all.
Hold on. Wait, no, hold on, Broussard. Just let him have his moment. Just stop it. Stop trying to corner people on this stuff. That's not what he's saying. He's saying it's not over. He's saying they're alive. But it is interesting. Okay. Brandon gave a couple ways that you can win in the NBA. Evidently, one of those ways that is not a way you can't win is if your best player is healthy an entire series, has the best series of his entire career, you can still lose in 7 at home like Brooklyn did and still be the overwhelming favorite next year. Who knew? Who knew that was also a thing? But doesn't matter. Let's stay on this series and stay on this topic.
Oh, my goodness.
That was really directed at Broussard, Brandon, but you caught a stray there as well. Here's what the Bucks got last night, Wilds. They bought themselves time. And I do think they can win a Game 7 at home against an Atlanta team, even if Trae is back without Giannis. And I think they could win a Game 6 on the road if Trae doesn't play without Giannis. And then I do not agree that the Bucks have any chance at all in the finals if Giannis misses the whole finals. I think that is is underplaying how well Phoenix has played and underplaying how incredibly dominant Giannis can be. But, Wilds, do I think that if Giannis were back for Game 4, if they're down 2-1, they could win 3 of the next 4? I do. Like, Phoenix has home court, which helps Phoenix, but actually in this situation almost works in Milwaukee's favor in that even with Giannis, you're supposed to lose those first 2 in Phoenix. So it's not like you have 2 home games where you got to go 2-0. And so I don't know what Giannis's true injury status is, other than I know he's not playing again in the conference finals. I think it is a coin flip at best he plays in the NBA finals. But if he is able to come back, even just for the last 4 games of the finals, the Bucks could be champions. I don't think they could be champions if he's out for the year. I think there's no example that I can think of in NBA history where a team loses its best player for the entirety of the finals. We've seen guys miss a game. Obviously, the famous Magic Johnson game, Kareem wasn't there. Miss a game and guys come through. But you can't not have Giannis for the whole finals. But I do think they should feel good, Wilds. They bought themselves time, which is what they need right now.
Yes, I totally agree with you. If Giannis was to come back in Game 3, I think the emotional sort of rise of having him back could carry the Bucks. Now, the weird thing about this game last night, Broussard, is it was the first conference finals game where I was almost exclusively thinking about the finals. And I was like, all right, what if it's this Bucks team versus the Suns? And I was trying to find a way in my soul to be like, it's teamwork and it's like next man up. It's like, it wouldn't be. If the Bucks got there and they somehow won, it would be just a horrible, horrible mark on the resume of Devin Booker and most importantly, Chris Paul. So it was an odd, sort of viewing this game and thinking about Chris Paul. But I do agree with Nick. The finals start July 8th. You've got as much time as possible. I almost want there to be like a camera on the game and then like a little mini box of just watching Giannis to do my own medical analysis of like, oh, he's standing up. How fast did it take? And I want the statisticians there like, well, and last time he stood up, it took 2.7 seconds. And this time it took 2.4, so he's getting better. I'm like, oh, good, Game 3. So I guess the point is this. What would you do with Giannis? Would you just be like, hey, let's not worry about the Hawks at all. Let's not worry about the first 2 games. Let's only focus on Game 3, 4, 5. What would you do?
Well, I think I'd let the doctors determine that. I mean, once he's ready, obviously if you win Game 6, you got time to rest before the finals. But once he's ready, I'd play him. If he was ready in Game 1 of the finals, I'm playing him. I'm not saying, oh, let's wait till Game 3 and he's really ready. If you got to play him when he's ready to go. And I agree with you guys that if he doesn't play in the finals, then Phoenix is obviously the favorite. But, Nick, you said there's no example of a team losing its best player and winning the finals. But this is an odd opponent, too. Nobody, as great as Phoenix was in the regular season, nobody expected them to be in the finals. So again, this is not kind of your typical finals opponent.
Just me.
They're two of their three best players are in their first playoffs. We rarely see that.